whole entire point of this stream, this live stream, is to basically give a tutorial of what I know of the graveyard map to everybody who wants to learn about it or who has questions about it. I mean, I don't know everything about it, but I know enough about it. Playing it as victim and family. I actually have played on this map more as family than I have as victim. And so, knowing it from that perspective, I understand what the objectives are up top. The basement is definitely the toughest part about it, because it's probably one of the smallest basements in the game. I don't know how it compares to the gas station basement, because gas station basement is very small too. However, the gas station basement has more barriers and just has more ways to get away from certain family members, whereas this basement doesn't. And there's just less defense in this basement. There's just ways around all the crawl spaces and cut-throughs that you have. And so it can be very difficult if you don't know what the hell you're doing in this basement. It can be pretty tough to navigate or negotiate, as they say, you know what I mean? And so mainly if you can figure out how to do that, you're already a step ahead of any family you might be encountering or whatever. So without further ado, here we have the gas station map. I mean the graveyard map, Jesus Christ. Long day. I worked today from 9 to 8, and it's 2:12 in the morning, so it is what it is. I hate that I'll tell you one thing that I hate is that we as people live such short lives. We really live really short lives though. It sucks. We really need to figure out longevity. Because there's so much to do and so much to learn on a daily basis. So much to explore in the world, so much to learn, so much to take in. And what do we live till we're 80, 90? If we're lucky, some of us live until we're 100 years old. If we're lucky. I work in a pharmacy. One of my customers is 100 years old. Man still drives to the store by himself and gets what he needs by himself. There's people my age that can't even fucking do that. It's hilarious. This dude's 100 years old doing it by himself. So yeah, this basement is terrible because the entirety of it is just church basement. It's not marked at all, which is just, I don't understand why. So as you can see in the top right of the screen, church basement. What is the absolute point of that? What is the absolute point of that? Why are you marking things in the map, in the game? Why are you marking rooms, and then on this map you just mark every room the same thing? Why would you do that? What is the logic behind that one? Unless it's just a ridiculous glitch, which I doubt.
This might jam that lock.
You know what I mean? I think it's really goofy to do that. And I'd love to say another word, but, you know, freedom of speech is not limited, but freedom of reach is. And those of you who know what I'm talking about when I say that. Anyways, this is a way out. This is one of the many church basement exits. This is a really good one, though. It seems like the past few times I've played this map, literally twice in a row when I played this map as victim, Johnny loves coming down this exact door. Alright, he loves coming down here. The first time the Johnny didn't lock the door after he came down because, you know, they're so smart. But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. So that's pretty cool, nice effect right there. This specific door, there's not always I don't know if there's always a toolbox here. You'll notice that the bone charms are much lower on this map, so you have to very carefully finesse them. So, you know, if you don't want to make noise, you know what I mean? I think, though, you kind of got to get to a point where beyond the stealth and you do make some noise, especially around that, because that kind of sound doesn't really follow you very long. And I mean, if you're getting chased, I mean, it is what it is at that point. You just have to utilize what you have. So yeah, this basement exit is extremely significant because it leads to two spots. It leads to two objectives all in one. So right there where I'm facing, you'll see a gate here. This gate leads to the two bottom water generators. This gate right here. This leads to the two bottom water generators. There's one over there and one over there. If I was playing family, I'd be able to show you both of them with my family sense, but I'm playing victim, so I don't have it. They're both over here, alright? And that's why it's significant. Also, this leads you here as well to this little, I guess these are drainage. These are like drainage ways, I guess, for the overflow, right? I don't know. It reminds me of Final Fantasy 12 when you're in the sewers underneath the castle. I don't know if anybody's in here that is going to watch this or will watch this has ever played that game, but those are like little throughways for the water, for the overflow. Alright, so the point of this also leads to another water generator. And the significance of this water generator is the fact that it can actually be reached. There's also a well here, or grave. I don't know what that's the exact word for that. Crypt? I don't know. You want to watch out for this puddle. It'll expose you. Nothing else will over here, though. Just that main puddle right there. This one, too, but, I mean, you don't want to wrap around here so much for that to expose you. But this is always here, no matter what. It's always here at the caretaker's cabin. And as you can see, there's a ladder here. This will lead us back to the basement. The caretaker's part of the basement. Alright? So you want to activate this. These are on a timer, too. I don't know what the timer is. I don't know how long they stay active. But, they stay on for a while. Alright? So I'm actually just going to do them all. Just to activate that part of the map. What you need to remember is, once you do this, it cannot be undone. Once you do all these, this action cannot be reversed. Hands cannot rip stall it. Once it's done, once all three water generators are active, that cannot be undone by anybody. That is done, and that's that. You've expanded that part of the map. The flooding is gone, and that whole base part of the map is open to everybody. And the significance of that is the fact that because that part of the map is blocked off, only this gate has the most value because this one is the one that leads directly to the other two water generators. So this is, as a family, this is the main gate you want to defend. Because as long as you're defending this gate, even if they do the water generator over there, and they can't access this gate for a certain duration of time, that water generator over there will deactivate on its own. So watch. Now that we're in here, we'll always have this water generator all the way to the left. Oh yeah, it's further. It's all the way over here, and it's always here. It's never anywhere else. There's no RNG to them. They're always stuck in these spots, no matter what. So you activate this one. This is the second one. And then you can... Let's see if there's a stealthier way to do this. It's not. So you have to go all the way through here. You don't really want to fall down there because then you can't get out. You just want to avoid those puddles though. The final one is right here. So once you've gotten to this point,
I'm stronger than this. Come on, Wyatt.
this whole action cannot be reversed now that this is done. Now that this is done, there is only one more gate to open too, which is really cool. So the water has completely drained, the floodgates are open. So now there's complete access here no matter what. No matter what happens, there's always access here. Also, this gate right here is your way out. And because this bottom part of the map was flooded, there is no way the family can defend this, can have this gate defended unless they camp it. Unless they are already here, after it drains too. Which wouldn't really make sense because, like, you want to drain this in a way that they don't notice. Well, they'll know, but you want to already be here before they can actually do something about it, basically, is my point. Hands can't ripstall the water gens or anything to reverse this. This is done now. This whole part of the map is now expanded upon and can be utilized. So you can just come over here.
Got it.
And basically, in a perfect match, come right over here.
Son of...
Pop this gate, and I'll show you how far you have to go without leaving.
Got it.
All the way to the end of these boards. Once you pass that final wooden board right there on the ground, you're out. That's your way out. Then you're done. You're good. You survived. So that's how you get out that way. That's why that basement exit right there is so significant, because it leads to those spots. And it's always like that, no matter what. That door is always there, and those water generators are always where they are. Now let me show you the other side of this, alright? The other significant side. Because I showed you the caretaker's basement. These are the church grounds. I'm just coming back down here to get the lockpicks.
Something useful. This might jam that lock.
So where we went for the singular water generator is accessible through here. I don't know if this is the exact door. We'll find out right now. This is also where the fuse exit is. So this is one thing that's significant about this map. Yes, I figured as much because it was in the same direction. Alright. So this door leads to the caretaker's basement. This door has to be unlocked. So basically in this map, it's the only map where you do not have direct access to the fuse exit. Every other map in the game, once you do the fuse, you can just get out through the basement. This basement is unique to the fact that this basement does not allow direct access to the fuse exit. You must open this door to the caretaker's basement, caretaker's tunnel as you see, to access the fuse exit. Alright? Otherwise, you will not have access. You can't just do the fuse and get out. You have to have this door open too. You just have to play this basement enough to orient yourself in it.
Not again.
As long as you know this is south, this always leads south. And then obviously that's west, and that's the caretaker's basement. There's another basement over there that is completely independent of both basements. This map has 3 basements. 2 are connected, and the 3rd is disconnected. It's its own basement. I don't know why it's even a thing, because these don't even lead to that basement, but it is what it is. Maybe they do, now that we've done what we've done, though. Let's see. Because now that I've opened the floodgates, let's just see. I want to see where these floodgates lead now that I have them open. There's the fuse exit right there. And there's a floodgate exit over here. I want to see where this takes me. Also, it does take you in here, but see, coming from this way, you still have to open another gate to get to where we were before. Yeah, you have to open that gate. There's no direct access, which is fine by me. I mean, it makes the most sense. So if you do it this way, so let's say you did the 2 floodgates over there, you did the 2 water generators over there, right? And then you did the singular one over here. So I'll show you have access to it.
Damn it.
what you can do it the other way around, which is really cool. You can basically, so if you go up this ladder right here, you'll be right where I showed you before. It'll take you right to the singular water generator. Caretaker's tunnel ladder exit. I love how this part of the map is so clearly marked, and the other part of the map is not at all. But this is that same water generator from before that I'd accessed via the gate, the puddles that I avoided and everything, as you can see. It's all connected. Like I said, these two parts of the basement, the caretaker's tunnel and the church basement, are connected. They're just sealed off via one door. Now, let me show you the other basement. This is the third basement. I guess this crypt, well, whatever the hell you call it, that's always there. That's the second time. I feel like that's there all the time. I don't know if that's the only way down from here. Somebody said that this map only has 4 wells. I guess it's just a much more advanced map. Maybe that's the idea behind it. And that must be why it's like this. It's just meant to be a little bit more advanced. It's just a little bit. It's just allows for more immersion though, which is really cool. So this, let me see, where does this go then? No, this is here. This was another floodgate that we opened. That's really cool. This takes you back to the Caretaker's Tunnel 2, which inherently leads you to the same spot where the ladder is. There's a fuse exit again. And this leads us to the other exit, which leads us out again. So now that we have this, I'll open that other gate, and then I'll show you the other basement. It's like the old basement. That's what they call it, at least. That's right there for you. You also have that, in case anybody's over here. I wish they'd release the soundtrack to this map on Apple Music already. I don't know why it takes them so long to do it. So yeah, this will lead you back over here. I guess the whole point of there's no basement access from here though.
This should buy me some time.
Yeah, these are just, it's just gonna lead me to this, which I'll utilize.
I got it.
Alright, so the other basement's back up here. This is the disconnected basement. This is the third basement. It's an independent basement of all the other ones, of the other two, I mean. Because this is the old cemetery, which makes sense because it floods. Like New Orleans, you know what I mean? This is the old catacombs. I'm just curious as to what the idea was behind this basement. It doesn't really connect. I guess it's like a staging ground if you made it this far as a team and families up there camping. Somehow you let that happen. Obviously, the point is to not let that happen. These are the old catacombs. Let's see where this leads. No, this is open. I see. So it leads back out. Wow, it leads right to that fucking door, too. That's crazy. So it leads right there. So the thing to keep in mind, this is just like an advanced tip for gaming in general. Every video game you will ever play, when the devs want you to go somewhere, there it will be lit up like this. These have lights on them on purpose. This is just a thing. I don't know if these light up before or after you drain the water, but whenever this is going on, two lights like this means look here, there's something here for you to see. Every game you ever play will have this. It won't be this obvious, but they'll light something up that they want you to go to. This just old school like gaming knowledge right here that you just gain over time and just learn. They'll put lights somewhere when they want you to look somewhere or do something or interact or do something with that area. It will always be lit up like that. You see how, I mean, there's other lights here too, but like this is specifically obvious, and they flicker. You know what I mean? They're there to get your attention, whereas these are just constant. This lights right here just really make me wish they'd make a nighttime version of this map. It really needs this rain. The rain is cool, but a nighttime version would be so much better, honestly. A nighttime version would be so much better. It's a graveyard. Why would you not have a nighttime version? I mean, yeah, it's raining. I don't know. I think it would just be absolutely disgusting to be in a graveyard in the rain. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just not too fond of cemeteries in general. However, they are very peaceful. You know what I mean? You can actually go to one and read a book and no one will bother you. I haven't done that, but I mean, people do. They just go there because it's peaceful. You can sit there and just reflect or whatever you do and just enjoy your solitude. But anyways, that is this whole bottom part of the map. There's other access to that area. There is a gate over here. Well, I'm critical again. I thought it was already critical, but that was just a warning that I was going to be critical. So there is a gate over here, but it's just more of the same. It just leads you back to that one gate that I had already opened.
Hell yes.
There's all these options to utilize. I wouldn't really utilize this unless, like, even if you're up against a Johnny or whatever the fuck, this is not. This right here will get you away from somebody for a split second, but they can just mind game you right here. So if you cut back through, they'll cut back through that way if they're smart and just kill you right here. So that's not really a safe haven to use at all. Just keep that in mind. There's other spots up top of them. I consider this like the south part of the map. I haven't really been to this part of it very often, but as you can see, it all just leads to the same spot. I mean, you can use that against a family member who doesn't know how to mind game it all. You know what I mean? You'll get through, you'll get out this way, basically. But the main gate you want is this gate right here. This is your access out. This is your exit. And like I said before, you will not escape until you pass that final wooden board right there. That final wooden board on the ground right there is your way out. All this here, you're vulnerable to attack. You're vulnerable to anybody's attack until you pass that final wooden board on the ground. The same goes all the way up north for the generator exit as well. Same thing. There's all these wooden boards on the ground. If you don't pass that final wooden board, you're not out yet. They can still kill you from there. So it's important to keep that in mind as well.
Alright, got it.
So that's literally the best way to access the bottom of the map. Now let's figure out a good way to access the north side of the map via the basement. Because this is what you want to get used to. You want to get used to the basement. That's the hardest part. But it can also be anything that's like that in a game like this, anything that's very difficult, can also be used the other way around. It can be used to your advantage. And that's the significance of it. Alright, and that's what you gotta remember. So let's go back to the basement and figure out our best way up north to the generator and to the pressure valve. Again, with the horribly marked room indicator on the top right of the screen, as you can see, it's all just church basement. Everything here is church basement. This is what we opened before, which leads to the caretaker's tunnel, which leads to the fuse exit. And it also leads to the other water generator. So this will lead up north. Because we know that this direction right here is west. That direction right there is south. So inherently, this direction right here must be north. Those are just the fucking rules. So we haven't been up north yet. Let's see if the gen is on the inside or the outside. Sounds to me like it's on the outside. It's right there. That's great. That's really good RNG. And the fuse is right there. So it's the same thing where obviously a family member, a hands can just camp this spot. However, there's ways for victims to counter hands very, very simply. Just look at what you have here. Look at what you have here when you have a hands, alright? Hands can only ripstall one thing at a time. You cannot ripstall two things at a time. That's what I need every victim to remember about Hands. Hands is not as overpowered as you think. He is not as overpowered as you think at all. I'm so tired of victims acting like Hands is the ultimatum to the fucking game. There's no way to do anything about it. He is very simple. There's such simple counters. And you do not need a fucking Danny to do it either. You do not need a Danny. I've countered Hands with Maria. I've countered Hands with other victims. If you play as Hands, you'll know how to counter Hands. It's something you learn in DVD. You want to... Let me just say this. Oh, and here's another thing. Let's show this example real quick. Never climb this fucking ladder. I'm going to show you what happens if you do. Watch this shit. This ladder is a death trap. I mean, if you're gonna climb this ladder, you better make goddamn sure none of the family see you do it. And make goddamn sure they don't know you're up. Oh, a small health bottle too. What a joke. I'm gonna save it for after. So watch what happens. Let's say you climb this ladder and someone's coming behind you. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can throw a knife of a family member coming up here. That'd be awesome if you could throw a knife them off a ladder. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. I'll have to figure that out someday. So let's just drop from that height. Oh yeah. That's why we don't climb the fucking ladder right there. That was just me pressing the button to drop too. That wasn't anything else. So imagine my cook hitting you like that. My cook is a very high savage build too. I don't run scout. I run savagery builds on my family. I don't run the bitch ass let me chase you and hit you 10 times and tunnel you out bullshit. No. I'm gonna knock the shit out of you if you come at me. You're not gonna bully my fucking family members, I'll tell you that right now. I don't care how many hours you have in this game. I will fuck you up. Anyways, that's kind of the goal when you're playing family, right? Not let me hit you 10 times and chase you and chase you and chase you and waste everyone's time because I'm chasing you while the other 3 victims are over here kicking Jen and getting out. You know what I mean? Just let that resonate in your brain. You know what I mean? If I only have to hit you 3 times or 4 times and you're dead, then you're dead. That gives me more time to go back and track other objectives. Anyways, I only did all that because I needed to find another health bottle, and I think there should definitely be more up here. It's another basement exit here. It's not the same one we utilized before though. Alright. That's the north one. It's the best one. We find a house bottle around here. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. It's the one that leads to the little ladder in the church. I can just tell by the way it is. But yeah, you just have to play this basement a little bit more. You got to understand it a little bit more and just understand where you are in relation to what's on top. The reason I know what I know about this basement is only because, on from here you can hear the generator too. So we're all the way up north right here. We're literally right underneath the generator. That's where we are right now. And the generator's on the outside of the upper gate. So this is where Leatherface face spawns.
Not again. Finally, something useful. This might jam that lock.
This is the south exit to that gate. Again, this is the west exit to the caretaker's tunnel. And now we'll go back up north to the generator, because we have to cover that ground too. And this is the north exit. I just think it's really shitty that they just name everything. They made that basement so that you don't know really where you are, because once you can memorize those spots, you're gonna get stuck because everything's marked as church basement, which is really shitty. I don't agree with that. I think it's really ridiculous. Maybe they thought it'd be too easy, but I mean, it's gonna be too easy anyway once people who have a lot of hours in the game figure that basement out. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You're just making it harder for newer players, and they're gonna get mad and not want to fuck with this. They're gonna hate this map and DC off of it because the devs never instituted a DC penalty for in-the-game matches, only in the lobby. You know what I mean? You're just gonna cause problems doing things like that. So I don't know what the hell the mindset is there, but obviously you just gotta think from a gamer's perspective and not a dev's perspective that people are gonna learn this map no matter what. You know what I mean? And newer people will not. They're going to lose patience right away because that's how gamers are nowadays. They lose their patience instantly. They DC if the wind doesn't blow right in the fucking game. You know what I mean? But anyways, we're lucky enough to have the gen on the outside. I would open this door first, especially if you're like a Connie, right? And everything. And let me just show you how to counter hands real quick. It's very important to remember that. Since we're in this side of the map, I would imagine there's definitely a fuse somewhere. Because these parts of this map always have a fuse or something. This is the way out right up here. You can tell by the sound of the electricity. I don't know how good everyone's headphones are, but I highly recommend playing a game like this with headphones on and having all of your audio come through the headphones. So there's that. And you just follow the yellow rope. The yellow rope tells you everything. It's the wire, you know what I mean? It's like the plug that connects the generator, you know? So let me find a fuse. Because the whole point of this is in the worst case scenario. Let's say they have a hands. You have the gen where it is, and you have the fuse box where it is too, right? So this is how you not only get out on graveyard, but counter hands doing it. Now, granted, obviously the family's going to circulate these areas and camp these areas, but even if they do, it's still possible to get through that. There's still ways around camping. You just have to think outside of the box. You just cannot play so direct and obvious. So, this variation, the valve is on the inside, which makes sense. Health bottle right there too. Which I'll need because I'm in the purple. Basically utilizing one just gives me 5 minutes of health every time. So I get to survive for 300 more seconds every time I heal myself. There's a well here. I think that well is always here in this bottom part. And they have a valve right here too. This is really significant. So we have an example right here. This all depends on what kind of a hands you're going up against. This kind of a strat that I'm about to do is more prone to like newer hands players who don't think outside of the box.
Oh, damn it.
What you can do right here, you can set this up. Newer hands players will probably just fucking rip stall that. Like the newer player in general will just rip stall that, right? I'd even open up this gate for him too. It's already becoming running over here. But as a victim, you always want to think of the valve as the ultimate distraction. You just want to do it just to see how the family responds to it. Always remember that. The valve is just a distraction. That's why it's so loud. That's why that's why it functions the way it does. It's a test. This is how you test the family you're up against. Do they even come to turn it off? These are all things you have to consider, alright? So that's going. Will the hands come over and rip stall it, or will they turn it off regular? That's the big question. And there's other things you can do to motivate him to rip stall it too. There's things you can do. You can have a victim camping there to backstab him when he goes to rip stall it. You know what I mean? So, let's say in this game, let's say like for a newer family member, they play hands on this map, and they're camping this area where you have fuse and generator right next to each other, right? You have everything right here, and the valve over there. Let's say that hands just rip stalls the fuse. Alright? And what did we do before? We open the gate, we have everything out. So let's say he did let's say he did rip stall the valve, right? Let's say that happened. So here's how you counter hands easily. Do this.
That's done.
You did the valve, he rip stalls it. Now you do the fucking generator, kick it. His rip stall's on cooldown, you can get the hell out. You just follow the yellow rope. Follow the yellow cord. The yellow fucking brick road, right? Bro, you're out right here. This is another map where you have to go to a certain distance. They really shortened that valve door being open though, that's for sure. That's cool though. Now it's closed, that's fine. Now we have to find a fuse. Because let's say we're in a game where the hands is smarter and doesn't rip stall the valve, it just turns it off regular, right? Let's say we have that kind of a hands on our hands, haha. Right? Let's say we have that, okay? What you do in that situation, you can find a damn fuse somewhere. It has to be around here. Because fuses are always in these sections of the map. If not on the inside or the other part of the map where we're just in. Let's see. I wonder if there's a thing about fuse placement. If they only can be in certain areas, you know? I'm sure someone knows more about that than I do. So nothing here. This area is also very good against a family member that can't, like a Leatherface or something. Maybe not so much a Leatherface because they can go fast, but like a Cook, a Johnny, or a Hands, they can't really get you if you utilize this to your advantage. Because they have to go all the way around that. Especially if it's only one family member. They can't get you so easily if you use this. It's actually a very strong spot to loop them. Just to keep them off of you. And to keep them as a distraction. Because if you're already in here, they're gonna want to kill you because you're by an exit, so they're gonna want to go after you. So you can keep distracting them with this area because of that.
This'll help.
So yeah, let's find another fuse. There's another crypt well, if you will. There's a lot of hiding spots on this map too, though. So if there are only 4 wells, you have a lot of hiding spots to utilize. And you have this whole spot right here too. This is all over the place on this map. These little sewage, these little drainage areas, you know, for the overflow. So the fuse is on the church. I wonder if there's a fuse inside of the church.
Nice and steady.
I wonder if there's ever a fuse up here. This ladder's a lot safer than the other one is. No fuse up here. And no fuse in here. Let's see. None over there. Let's see if there's one over here then. There'd have to be something. That's the north exit where we came from. Oh, this is really good right here. So let's say you're coming from there and you're getting chased by Leatherface, right? You can totally just come through. You have a lot of spots that are safe to keep you away from them. There's gotta be a fuse in here. It has to be. Just because it's a spot you have to unlock and it's further away from the fuse box itself, from where it spawns. Yeah, there's definitely got to be fused in this building. If not for on the outside. Maybe they keep none on the outside just because of the rain. Yeah, I knew it. I knew there'd have to be one there. So in this scenario, this is what you do against smarter hands, like a more experienced hands, because a lot of them won't ripstall the valve. If they're smart, they'll know what you're trying to do. There's another, no, it's the same one from before. But anyways, what you want to do is force hands to ripstall something, right? And this is how you always counter him. You want to force him to ripstall one thing so that you can do another. You know what I mean? You want to control what they're doing. You want to make them play your game. I don't know what the fuck that was all about, but it's kind of ridiculous. Well then, I've never had that happen in the middle of a fucking video. That's just ridiculous. It's so stupid. Anyways, I'll be able to show you exactly what I was trying to show you. Literally out fucking rages. Oh, I knew. Why is my outfit changed too? So stupid, dude.
Authorities were alerted to
I guess we load back in pretty quickly.
Investigate reports of cattle abuse, but what they found instead was disturbingly serene. The ranch was devoid of livestock. Instead, 13 men, all dressed in plain white clothes.
What was I in the game for too long? Like, what the fuck was that?
Each one was wearing a simple rope belt.
So we're back in the church basement. Let's see if we can just figure out where we just were.
Where the hell am I?
Alright, I already know. I know exactly where I am. Alright, now, here's what I need everybody to remember.
Did they hear that?
Yep. This time the toolbox is in here. But here's the door. This is the south door. That's the west door. It's gonna be a completely different fucking variation of the map too, which is really annoying. This is the north door. This is the way to the generator. I wonder what's up there. Nothing probably, but anyways, good to check.
Yes, I got it.
I think that north door is the only north door. There's no door further north than it. But we'll see if we go over here. I do not think there will be a door up here though. No, there's just circular zoo right back around to that over there, which is another door, but it's not north. That's more of a east door. We want north. Gonna hop back over this. That's where the other face spawns. So this is the north door. This will lead us to the generator.
I've been through too much to die here like a dog. It's open.
So simple to do this too. Look at this. This leads you right here, right to this gate. This gate right here. You see how it's all interconnected and everything? See how this all just flows through? Once you learn the map, you just see like how strong it is for a victim. You just gotta learn how to utilize what you have with it. I guarantee you that same fuse will be in here. It'll have to be. Oh, it's not. It's fine. That's okay. There's a gallows in here too, which makes sense. So since that's not there, maybe that means the fuse is on this side of the church too. Let's see. I want to know. I wonder if there's some connection with that. So now, like, if we go to the other side, there'll be a fuse in there. As you can see, the water's not drained anymore because the game decided to fuck us over and throw us out. It is what it is. Let's see, I just need more tools. So I'm curious about this. I'm very curious because now we'll learn something. The fuse placement is in relation to where the fuse box itself is. Here's tools.
Damn it. Alright, got it. Finally, something useful.
So let's see, is the fuse over here this time?
Not again.
It is. I had a feeling. I fucking knew it. So now that the fuse is on this side, this makes this trap much easier too. When the fuse is like this is better RNG for the victim. You just gotta be careful because they put this blood thing here, and a good hitch will put a trap right here. They'll have something here to fuck you over. A bomb here or a trap there, and this will be, you know what I mean, sealed off for sure. Anyway, so now that we've noticed that, now that we see the fuse is there and there's no fuse in there, probably because of that, let's go back to the right side of the map and see if there's a fuse over there. Now that the fuse is on that side. Because there weren't a fuse on the other side of the map. Obviously, based on the RNG, they want to keep the fuses far away from the fuse box itself. Just naturally. Makes the most sense. They don't want the fuse to spawn right next to it, so you just pop it in and get out in an instant, you know? The other thing to always remember, if you're very familiar with Slaughterhouse, then you'll be very familiar with this windmill. So, Slaughterhouse, where's the windmill? The windmill on Slaughterhouse is always at the valve exit, every time. That valve exit always has the windmill, just like this map. Where's the valve exit in relation to the wind? See this? Here's the valve exit, there's the windmill. Just like Slaughterhouse, same thing. It's like a landmark. Just remember, when you see that, you hear someone do that valve, look for the windmill, because the exit's right fucking here. Always remember that shit. Now let's see if my other theory is true. Yes. I don't remember if I looked in here before, but I just could not find a fuse here last time. And now there is a fuse, because this time the fuse is not on this side of the church, it's on the other side. And when it's on the north side of the church, it's more close to this direction. Whereas when it's on the west side of the church, it's closer to that direction. So it makes sense that there wouldn't be a fuse there in that on the west side of the map, because the fuse is closer to the west side of the map, and it would make it easier for the fuse exit to be utilized because of that. So they want to keep the fuse far away from the fuse box, and they want to make it harder for you to utilize it as a form of an escape, basically. Alright? Also, we're lucky because we have the gen on the outside again, so we have that same type of RNG. You always want to make sure you have this open, or easy access to it. They're going to be camping here, so they're always going to be resetting their traps and shit. But it takes them some time to do that. And again, you just follow the yellow brick road to the way out. That's all you gotta do. That's blocked off, it's fine. That's actually good that it's blocked off, because this is another very strong looping spot for a victim up against a Hands or a Cook or a Johnny. Even a Leatherface would have a hard time with that because of how far you have to go around to get them. You can destroy that and go in here, then you cut them off if you're a Leatherface, but only if you're a Leatherface, because for some dumbass reason, Hands can't break these. You can break everything else. I think the perk should involve...
Damn it.
The perk for the fucking barriers should involve those two. I don't know why it only involves barriers. He's strong enough to do both, obviously.
I got it.
But anyway, that's a whole other argument. So, you want to do your thing. Like, even if a cook comes in here and padlocks this, it would be very stupid to do that, because I don't even think he can padlock this. I think it's glitched anyway. Yeah, there's not even a thing here to... There's not a thing here to padlock. See that? There's no... That's why cooks can't padlock this gate, because there's not a thing to latch the padlock onto. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Anybody who plays Family should know what I'm talking about. But, the doors, the gates that Cook can lock have, a latch right above the silver little lock right there. I'll show you right now what I'm talking about. I don't know why they wouldn't put a latch on that. I don't know if that was by accident or what. So, on this gate, you see that? That dark little latch right there, right above? You have the silver lock right down there. Right where it says square to open. And then above that, you have a latch. That's for Cook's padlock. The gate up there doesn't have it. I don't know why. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you be allowed to lock this gate and not that one? I guess that's another glitch, but, anyways. This is how you do this strat, though, for the fuse gen. This is how you counter a smarter Hands with a rip stall.
This might jam my lock.
The only way around this is if Hands has the, perk on that prevents you from interacting with an objective for 30 seconds after it's been rip stalled. But even that has a counter. Everything has a counter in this game. So what you can do is start kicking this. You start kicking this. One victim starts kicking this. It requires teamwork sometimes, but maybe not even. Because you just have to outsmart. You have to just force their hand. You don't let them force your hand. So let's say this happens, right? Hands realizes that gate's open. And this is how I would do it too if you can. If you have the time to do it. Kick that. And leave this open. Don't even fucking go for it. Kick that shit right here. Run this way. Cut through here because you can't do anything about it unless they have an anti, right? Obviously you don't stand up and move the way I'm standing. I'm just doing the solo in an open match, right? Run your ass over here. Hopefully there's not traps or you've deactivated them already. And do this shit. Just do your simple math. I can't do math right now, obviously. And then you do this. So let's say you kick the gen and he ripstalls it. And then you do the fuse, right? Like I said, he can only ripstall one thing at a time. The best thing to do is kick the gen. Because they have to respond to that. They have to respond to that. Or you could just do it the other way around. Do the fuse and then kick the gen. But you have to do it fast. And you have to do it in such a way that... And you don't even need to do both objectives. That's only if... Doing it this way, doing fuse gen or gen fuse, is only if he has the perk on that, it's only if he has the perk on that forces him, that, has the 30-second cooldown for the victim so that they can't use the objective again for 30 seconds. If he doesn't have that perk on, you could just do the fuse, he has to ripstall it, and then you just find another fuse and put that shit in there too. Just do 2 fuses. You know what I mean? And that's how you counter him. It's all the way over there, just like I said, west. Right there. If you get these upper gates open, all you have to do is come in here. You'd want this open already. You don't want to wait until after you did it to open this shit, though.
It's open.
You can even hit this well. You can go down the ladder that's in there. That's all the options you have. But that would be your way out. You want to be quick though, and if you're gonna do this strat, it's better if you have someone do it with Saboteur on, just to give you the extra 15 seconds. Or if you have a Danny, that's the most optimal because his tamper, you know what I mean? But you still have a chance even as a plain old victim without either or. It's just more optimal and more viable to do it with Saboteur or a Danny in the long run, obviously. But that's basically that's the most basic gist of this map. You have the south, west, and north exits out of the basement. You have the 3 basements, 2 which are connected. 1 that's disconnected. I consider that more of a staging ground. And again, just remember this with the gen exit and the bottom exit. Just getting out this gate is not enough. You have to go all the way. Let's see how far we go. To the cone? Yeah, I figured as much.
I can make it.
But that's like the main tutorial of this map. So just remember that. Keep that in mind and just try to learn that. That's my basic explanation of it though. I'm sorry the game booted us out before. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't have control over that. That's another thing the devs really have to look through in their long ass list of bugs to fix. But anyways, I hope people find that helpful as victim. You just gotta learn that basement. You just gotta memorize it. I'll never understand why the fuck it even tells you what part of the basement you're in if they're all going to be marked the same. It might as well just not tell you where you are because if they're not going to indicate where you are, they're just going to name everything the same thing. That it defeats the purpose of the goddamn name indication in the first damn place. I don't know what their argument against that is. We never hear from them. There's not a lot of transparency or anything. I'm sure there's some nonsense excuses to why it's like that. I just don't agree with it. Because, like I said, more experienced victim players will understand to learn and do what I just did, and they'll do it a lot more efficient, you know what I mean? But newer players of the game will not do that. They'll get very mad and they'll DC. And then you'll have victims getting screwed over because their teammate DC'd because they're newer and they don't understand the map and they don't feel like learning it because everything's marked the same way. And those are the things you have to keep in mind when you do that shit, you know what I mean? It's just silly. But anyways, what do I know, right? I'm just the gamer. But I don't know. I just think these are things to consider, and I really hope people find this helpful. And if you enjoy my videos and you want to support my channel, there's a way you can do that. Is just like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends so that more people can watch these videos and hopefully learn something and enjoy them as well. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you learned a lot from this video, and if you want an even more in-depth video, again, just keep liking and commenting and just interacting with my content, and that obviously motivates me to do more videos and give more helpful tutorials and hints and everything that I can for you guys so that we can all learn to be better at this game and enjoy it. It's a casual horror game, and it's developed to bring people together, so just always remember that when you're playing it too. It's not a competitive game. Even if you do play a comp, it's never going to be balanced toward your favor. It's always going to be balanced to a more casual horror experience. A casual, authentic horror experience. So, always keep that in mind. And just try your best to find a way to enjoy it. And hopefully meet people. Because that's what it's for. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what this game is for. It's to help you meet people that enjoy horror, that enjoy these kinds of games, and build a community that way. That's the ultimate goal overall. And that's why the fixes are the way they are. That's why the patches are the way they are, because ultimately, if people are meeting each other in the game, then the devs really have done their job. Even if the game doesn't play the way you want it to. I mean, I don't agree with everything that I see, but at the end of the day, if you're able to reach new people that you wouldn't be able to reach before without this game, that's outstanding. That's a win all its own right there. You know what I mean? And just always remember that, because that's great when that's what you want. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Thank you.